Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a details page for each to-do. So usually you would have a lot of fields, maybe even 10 or 20 fields. So it's not going to be feasible to display all of those fields inside a list. That's why we should create detail pages. Now a detail page is a dedicated page that's created to actually display all the information of a specific to-do. So the way we're going to do this is pretty simple. We're going to go back to our router configuration in the main.jsx file, and we're actually going to create a new page, right? And we're going to call this /todos, and we're going to add an ID to the link. Now we use this syntax to specify that this ID is dynamic, as in this part of the URL can be anything, so it's not a static parameter. And this usually we call a parameter in a URL. And now we're going to create a separate component, and we're going to call this to-do details.jsx. Going to create a React component. So now that we've created this component to show the to-do details, and we've defined the route, we're going to try navigating to it. So the way we're going to navigate to this route is we have a list, and for each element, we're going to add a link, and each link is going to take us to the details of a specific to-do. So just like we rendered a delete button, we're going to also render a link that tells us to go to the details page. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to our to-do item component. So in this component, we render an input of type checkbox, and we'll also render the text, and we also render the delete button. Now all we have to do is just add one more element, and it's going to be the link component. And the link component is going to take us to /todos/todo.id, which, like I said previously, this is a dynamic parameter, so it can be anything. And in this case, it's going to be the ID of the current to-do. And we're going to call it, instead of edit, we're going to call it details. And now if we go back to our app, you can see for each to-do, we're actually rendering a link. And if we hover over the link, you can see in the bottom left, it changes. So in this case, it's /1, 2, 3. And if I click this, you can see that the link changes, right? If you try over here, it's 8, and over here it's 1. But the problem is we're still rendering the form, so we're going to change this. I'm going to go back to our router configuration, and instead of create to-do, I'm going to call this to-do details and import it. So if I go back, we can see we're rendering to-do details. But the problem is we're not actually getting the details. So we go to the link with the actual ID, but we're not actually getting the data from our server. So how do we do this? Now doing this is pretty simple. Every time we access this page, we're going to get the ID from the link, and we're going to send a fetch request and get the to-do details. So how do we do this? If we go back to our to-do details component, we're going to need a way to actually get the ID that we need from the URL. Now, in order to get the ID from the URL, we're going to use a custom hook that's created by React Router, and it's called useParams. Now, as you can see, we can use this hook, and it's going to return an object. And inside of that object, there's going to be a property that indicates the ID that's actually in the URL. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it inside of our component, and we're going to import this hook. Let's delete this stuff. And right now, let's call it a params object, and let's console log it. So I'm going to console log params. So I'm going to go back, and as you can see, there's this object being logged, and it contains a property called ID. Now right now it has a value of 1, and if you go back and go to a different page, you can see now it has a value of 6, which is the same value you can see in the URL. Now you can see that it's called ID. It actually calls it ID because that's what the name that we gave it in the custom configuration. So instead of ID, we can call it to-do ID. And if we go back, you can see that it's called to-do ID now. So you can control the name of the param using the configuration. Now that we have the ID, we're going to use it to fetch the data from our database. And the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to use the useFetch hook that we created before in order to avoid duplicating fetching logic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the code from our old component and I'm going to paste it here. So everything is the same as before. I just need to import useFetch, and I'm going to update the URL. So instead of /todos, we're going to add the ID in the end. So in this case, I'm going to call it params.todoID. And as you can see, this is, and right now, this is just a string. So I'm going to use a different syntax with backticks to actually create a dynamic section inside of the URL. So this part is going to be a variable. So this is a static part of the link, and this part is actually a variable. So this is going to change when the ID changes. And as usual, this hook returns the data, the isLoading state, the error state, and a function to update it if we need it. Now we don't need this for now, and we're going to change this to do. And inside of our div, all we're going to do is just check, as usual, if it's loading. And if it's loading, we're going to show a loading paragraph, right? And after this, okay, we just need to add null. And after this, now we need to check if there's some kind of error, right? So I'm going to type error. And if an error exists, then we're going to show it. Otherwise, we show null. Now I am going to do a small update to our useFetch hook, because before we were actually using it to get the data for the to-dos, and we set a default value of an empty array. This custom hook actually should work with any type of data, so we shouldn't assume what the expected type is. So we're going to set it to null for now. Now that it's null, that means by default there is no value. So this will actually, so we actually have to check if the value is truthy, and that's when we render the actual to do. So I'm going to type to do, and I'm going to check if it's truthy. In that case, we're going to show the to do text and whether it's completed or not. Otherwise, we're not going to render anything. And now if you go back and refresh, you can see we get learn Angular and it's not completed. So if you go back, you can see that now we have an error, as previously we were working with a default value of an empty array, but now that it's null, we're actually calling the .map method on a null value. And right now, since the default value is null, we can't use .map until we verify that it's actually an array. So if you go back to our to-dos list component, so before calling .map on the to-dos, we need to verify that it actually exists. So in order to do this, all we have to do is check if it's truthy. And if it's truthy, then we map through it and show the elements. Otherwise, we return null. So to-dos, we will only map through it when it's actually truthy. In this case, it's going to be an array. And if I go back and refresh, now everything's working. And if I click the details link, you can see this is also not completed. And they're all not completed. But if I go back to our database, and for example, if I change this to true, and I click the first one, I'm gonna refresh. Okay, we actually need to restart our JSON server to get the new values. And now I'm gonna refresh, and you can see that it says completed. So this is how you use dynamic pages in React. And in this case, we actually used a dynamic page to get the ID of a specific to-do and to create a specific page for that to-do. And as you can see, it's completely dynamic and changes according to the ID. Now if I refresh, everything works.